Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the new Lycanroc Dusk, which you can only evolve during dusk, which does make sense. So like there's only a small period of time where you can evolve this during the day, but definitely an interesting Pokemon here, very interesting design. But let's take a look what this Pokemon actually can do, and it was actually way more fun than I expected, which you're going to see here today. Of course, if you enjoy this kind of video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. But this Pokemon is a little bit tricky to get. Now there are basically two different forms of the Rockruff available in the game. I was first thinking, okay, yeah, Niantic is just a little bit lazy, like why do you not just give like the chance to the Pokemon that are already existing or whatever. But basically, they were forced to do this, so if you transfer the Lycanroc that actually can evolve into the Dusk form into a Pokemon Home, that gets a special ability which allows it to do the same in the main series games. This is most likely why they did it, but yeah, let's take a look at this Pokemon and let's see why this Pokemon is actually kind of funny, which you're going to see right now. We're going to be able to go for the Trailblaze, and the eyes are going from green to red, which is kind of cool. But sadly, the opponent decides to shield this one up. But I can tell you already, there were a few opponents that did not know that this Pokemon would learn Trailblaze. It's not the recommended moveset, but for this team, I feel like it is way better than anything else, and you're going to see it as well here today, how interesting this Pokemon is. We have a shorter video here, but again, 10 games, all games that I played with us, you're going to see here, also all the failed games or whatever. But honestly, this team was actually way better than I expected. Of course, it's built around Carbink, and of course, there are going to be some holes in this kind of team, for example, grass types, but let's take a look at the next game. Next opponent, we're going to have a horrible lead here for us, which is going to be the Lickitung. I can swap out, we're going to get out the Poliwrath, and what we can see here is we can still reach the Trailblaze. Super effective damage, going to boost my own attack, and as you're going to see as well, we're going to put them into counter down range. Goodbye Poliwrath, and so the Lycanroc actually surprises way my opponents, and goodbye there in general. They already rage quit. And so those games go fast, but we're going to have a great lead here. Jellicent in general, like Jellicent, if you haven't played Jellicent in this cup, for me it's not rank 30, it's like rank 3 or something in the cup in terms of what it can do. Like this Pokemon is just really strong, super solid. Definitely try this Pokemon out, but of course it's also very good against this team. But here we're gonna see as well the matchup against the Poliwrath. They're gonna get the attack drop immediately, but they're most likely going to try to catch something soon, but they don't actually. And I get a free fast move, which I'm definitely going to take here. I have to still shield up the Scald, as the opponent is going to swap out now into the Skarmory, which I'm totally okay with. I can go for the Shadow Ball, which is going to be debuffed, but I can now go ahead and go for the swap into my Carbink. I make a little bit of a mistake here, I would say. Should have went for another Shadow Ball maybe before, or even a Surf. But yeah, Carbink is of course a bad matchup usually because of the fast move damage, but at least we're going to be able to resist all the charge move damage, which is kind of nice here. So all this guy attacks kind of go to waste, and I can at least going to go ahead and try to go for the full farm down, which doesn't work, but I can at least still go for a rock slide here, which is going to be able to get the knockout, and so we can realign, which is more important. Poliwrath comes back in, I can go still for the Shadow Ball, which I have stored for my Jellicent. This is going to get the knockout, and I have to swap out here, and I make a mistake. This is a mistake here that I definitely do, but it's going to be okay. Like, let's take a look at this one here. We're going to be able to still hit the Surf, which was really great for me, but I was like predicting that the opponent is going to be forced to go for an Aerial Ace first and then for a Dig in order to win this game. So I decided to call the bait, didn't work out, and so sadly I lose this game because of this. Could have won this one for sure. So again, this was more of a me issue than the team issue. We're going to have another great lead here with the Jellicent, as the opponent swaps out into the Charger Bug, giving us a huge advantage at this point, because Charger Bug can just get fully farmed on my Carbink, and what this also means is that we're going to get over this matchup with around 100 energy, with a Pokemon that has access to a coverage move with Moonblast. It's going to be able to hit the lead for super effective damage. So we either see the final Pokemon now, which gives us a huge advantage because we can play around it, or we're going to see the Poliwrath again, and we can go for a bait first, which is going to be our Rock Slide, gonna get the shield, but also we can even still reach a Moonblast, and we can say maybe goodbye to the opponent. I don't know if this is going to be enough to knock them out. It is not, but they swap out into the Clefable with a Charm here as well, and they're just going to forfeit at this point of time. Carbink was way better there than expected. Let's take a look at the next opponent. Actually, also against another YouTuber. Used their team before this season as well, so definitely check them out. Same name on YouTube as their in-game name. We're going to see here the Mantine, which is kind of okay for our lead, but they kind of want to swap out because our backlane is better. And I saw them using this team on Twitter, and I know already what is in the bag. And I know that there is next to no chance of me playing around this. There is one chance of me playing around it, but it's so unlikely that yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Let's take a look at this. We're going to be able to go ahead and go for a shield here again. They sadly know about Trailblaze, I guess, for my Lycanroc. We're going to get them a little bit lower. I always go for the CMP type because it's going to allow us to give the opponent not as much farm here, which is going to be nice. They're just going to go straight for that charge move, which is totally okay. But I know what they're going to have on the back, and what they have on the back, spoiler alert, is going to be a Shadow Swampert. And so, because I saw that on Twitter as well, I'm like, my only real play here is to hope that they're going to go into the Swampert now, which is very unlikely, or that I get a ton of energy with my Carbink before they swap out into their Swampert, so I can outspeed the Swampert to a Moonblast before they can go for their own Earthquake. And as you can see here, the opponent swapped out fast enough that this will not happen. Like, it's just not going to happen. The opponent can just go for 2 charge moves here. First Hydro Cannon coming through here. I think they need 1 more fast move exactly. And so they're going to knock me out. It is what it is, like completely hard walled in the back. Like 2 water ground types against 2 rock types is just not possible to win. Let's take a look at the next opponent. We're going to have the Mandibuzz in the lead, and so we can swap out into our Lycanroc, and they swap out into the Venusaur. And here we're going to see a little bit of the issue with this team, of course. There is no way for you to have a balanced team with this team here that is going to be able to beat everything. You're always going to have basically a hole depending on what kind of lead you're going to choose for it. And I decided to go for the lead here of the, what's called the Jellicent, which is going to be the better one that you can go for. But again, like, it's not going to be ideal. Here we're going to see the Venusaur still going to be able to go for a charge move against me. They got 2 debuffs here from the Crunch, which is kind of lucky for me. I think it's a 9% chance, but I don't get to the Surf, which is super unlucky. And now I have to hope that I can still farm them down. I know that I can still deal with a lead, of course. But yeah, we're going to see what they're going to have in the back hopefully soon. But they actually still get to another charge move with like 1 fast move away from knocking them out, which is insanely unfortunate. And I think I would have been able to win this game otherwise, but it is what it is. Let's move on to the next one. Great lead again. We're going to have here the Skarmory, and they swap out into their own Dragonite, and I swap into my Carbink, which is maybe a little bit of a, I don't know, it's very likely that they're going to run Double Dragon in the back, and so getting rid of my Carbink that early can be a little bit of a trickier one, as they can farm me down. Like, there's nothing that I can do to realign. I still might be able to get a shield, which, looking at the damage here, I doubt I will be able to go ahead and get a shield there. But let's see, we're going to be able to still go for a charge move, and honestly I make a little bit of a mistake here as well again for this battle, and this is something that you can kind of learn from, I guess, as well. I did not use a shield here, and I should have used a shield here because I know it's going to be a dragon, and it's going to be actually a Brave Bird here as well. It's going to be the Dragonite coming in. I can get a shield advantage, but because I know the Volvarock, or like the Lycanroc, Volvarock is by the way the German name of it, Lycanroc is the English name of it, is going to be so squishy that it does not really matter what you're going to do here. Still, I like how the eye color changes, you can see it here as well, but yeah, we can just farm it all the way down, so we have to forfeit this one. I guess something that I could have played better as well if I shielded up the charge move from the opponent. Like, every charge move basically from the Dragonair would have been like resisted, so I feel like I actually had a decent chance of still winning this game if I just used the shield onto the Brave Bird, but it's my own fault. It's my own fault. I can't blame anyone else. But yeah, I can at least go ahead and take out another Poliwrath with a Lycanroc, which is just so hilarious to me. Like, it's supposed to be the hardest answer for it, but it is not. We're gonna see here the Abomasnow still getting to another charge move. I'm forced to use a shield, but I can still do a ton of damage with my fast move alone. And what we're gonna see as well is I can still get to a rock slide before they can go for their next energy ball. We will see that they're going to use a shield, so I expect them to be weak against me in the back, so I decided to use a shield as well. And they're getting lucky here with the 10% chance hitting that I get the defense job, forcing me to swap out immediately basically. And we will see here the Gligar coming in. They are going to go ahead and go for the dig, doing a little bit more damage, but I still should be able to reach 2 surfs in time, which is going to be nice as the opponent already let the first surf go through, which is really good for me because now I know that they are going to be in farm down range for my Carbink. I will just get ahead and just try to, yeah, let my Jellicent go down here, go for the farm down, and as they didn't even overfarm that much, I should be totally fine here. Yeah, the Carbink has too much health, and so they're gonna go down here anyway. Good game there. Next opponent, let's see what they're going to run. They're going to have a Skarmory in the lead, which is going to be great for us again. Like, Jellicent lead, currently the best lead that you can run, most likely. Like, of course, people are gonna go ahead and most likely put something like, I don't know, a Dragon type in the lead, or like something like the Charjabug in the lead now. But right now, at least for me, this Pokemon is amazing in the lead. So many Poliwrath, so many Carvings, so many like Skarmory is just wild, but they even swap out here into a Pokemon that I don't want to face with my backline, so I definitely take the Shadow Ball hitting against this Whiscash, which is going to be great for me. I can let the Mud Bomb go through, as we can see here, it does around like 30% health, and so I can definitely survive another one afterwards as well. Going for the Shadow Ball, hoping that they're going to let this move go through, they decide to use a shield, and now I just have to hope and pray that I can still survive this one and still get to a Surf to knock them out, but let's see if this is going to be enough. We will get to another Surf, but I'm forced to use a shield here. And I'm not sure if this was the correct play. I could have also just went for the full farm down with counter, which would have been an interesting play to go for. But as we can see, I just decided to go ahead and knock them out. And I feel like maybe it would have been the better play to go for the counter down now in hindsight. It would have definitely been the better play. So definitely mistakes been made there. I should have just let the move go through, go for the full counter down, but honestly, like, this is the thing as well, like, you kind of need sometimes to play with a team for a little bit longer to know how to actually play this one, and here, one of the first battles with it, I would have most likely actually won this game if I just played a little bit better, and this is on me, and this is something that I can learn from watching the games back. So again, like, this is something that is also kind of cool to see. So like, actually, if you know how to play this team, of course you didn't know that they had like something like a Poliwrath in the back, but like, if you know how to play the team a little bit better, I feel like you could have even got better results with this team. Even though I went neutral with it, I went 5-5 with this team. I think I still would have been a little bit better off if I just played a little bit longer as well. But yeah, we're going to see the Jellicent Mirror, but they're going to run Bubble, which is a smart idea as well. I thought about using Bubble Jellicent as well, but yeah, for me currently Hex is like a little bit better, just I'm a little bit too scared of the matchup against the Poliwrath. You're still going to be positive with Bubble, but I don't know, Hex is a little bit faster, which I like to get to those Shadow Balls. But here we're going to see the matchup against the Gligar, and with this, it kind of showcases, to me at least, that they're going to be weak against my Jellicent in the back. And so I kind of want to keep my Jellicent around, and so I decided to swap out, and they actually have the Poliwrath in the back, which they're going to swap in immediately, which I'm totally okay with, as I will have access to the move Moonblast. Moonblast is going to do a ton of damage. They're not going to get the debuff, which is kind of cool, because like this, the opponent gonna go down from this Moonblast thanks to the extra damage of my fast move, and so the Gligar is still forced to even go for a dig here, which is kind of nice, and they are very, very low, which is really great. And also, our Jellicent is still very healthy, as I can still even go into my Lycanroc. They're still forced to go for another dig here. It's going to be that one, but like, they're still forced to go for another dig here, which doesn't work out. And so we're going to be able to win this final game. And so Lycanroc was actually way better than I thought. Like, as a trap, basically with Trailblaze, a lot of people don't really expect this move. It was a lot of fun against all those Poliwrath. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.